Good, happy Tuesday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Tuesday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, we begin with a look at the weather. Thunderstorms across New Hampshire right now, 75 degrees. Thunderstorms likely to end around 7:30 p.m. And your sunset will be at 8:24 p.m. To get your latest weather information, just go to WMUR.com to get the latest weather information. And here is a look at the hourly forecast. And here is a look at the weather for tonight and tomorrow. Again, for the latest weather information and weather video, you can go to WMUR.com. Now let's get to your news. First up, false alarm intermittently triggered at Seabrook Station nuclear power plant temporarily closed beaches. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR.com.
Walmart, America's largest, is hiring. Earn $23.55 to $28.10 per hour plus benefits. Working at Walmart's Raymond Distribution Center. 50 full-time positions available. Apply today online or text DC to 240-240. Walk-ins welcomed.
Jamie, high anxiety on the seacoast today, as you can imagine. A lot of people, including town officials and first responders, were left scrambling, trying to figure out if this alert was the real deal. Now, the false alarm was sent out right around 10:30 this morning. It was played on speakers at and near the beaches. The message said there was a problem at the Seabrook Nuclear Power Station. It then urged people to leave the beaches immediately and to turn on a radio for more information. Beaches in Seabrook, Hampton, and Rye were temporarily closed. In a statement to News 9, a spokesperson for the company that operates the plant tells us the siren's activation was sent in error during testing of the system. Now, Seabrook Town Manager Bill Manzi says his office is usually notified of any testing, but he says that did not happen today. He says he is disappointed in the lack of communication from the plant.
A lot of discomfort, a lot of anxiety, a lot of people's vacations interrupted. Naturally, if it's a real emergency, we want to get off the beach, but it was not, and it was just handled terribly.
Also tonight, the governor's office says it is looking into seeing what happened here and how this could have happened. But in the meantime, as you can imagine, on a warm summer day like today, there were a lot of people lining the beaches when this false alarm happened. My colleague Jennifer Crompton is standing by live now with more reaction to all of this. Jen.
Well, we're here among the summer homes and rental properties that line Seabrook Beach. Locals expressing their frustration to us that it did take so long to find out that it was a false alarm. Folks in and around the Seabrook Beach area jarred by an eerie message booming over the area about 10:30 this morning.
Attention. There is a problem at Seabrook Nuclear Power Station.
The voice telling people to leave the beach area at once, to close all doors and windows.
Our friend's mom came running down and said, there's a problem with the nuclear plant. It's going to explode. You have to evacuate the beach. And we all were like freaking out, obviously.
Everybody was kind of in a panic on the street, didn't know if we should leave, stay. A little bit of chaos.
The announcement telling them to tune to their local radio station for more information.
And of course, I turned the radio on like everybody did, but there was nothing on any of the radio stations, nothing on the emergency broadcast system.
So I was trying to get a hold of everybody to say either stay where you are or head further away from the beach. Don't come down here right now. Not sure what we're going to do.
Families have been coming here for generations, used to the occasional notification of a system test by the Seabrook station, but not this time. Seabrook Police and Fire fielding so many calls, sending officers to the beach to assure people it was a false alarm.
When I heard it was a false alarm, I said, why isn't the nuke plant making an announcement that that was false, it wasn't them? But there's been nothing.
Now, that was late morning, and it was just after noon that we were still here, and we heard an announcement from those speakers saying that there was no need to evacuate, that it was a false alarm, and that was nearly an hour and a half after that initial scare. We're live at Seabrook Beach. Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Suspicious death of infant from Hudson under investigation, officials say. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Walmart, America's largest, is hiring. Earn $23.55 to $28.10 per hour plus benefits. Working at Walmart's Raymond Distribution Center. 50 full-time positions available. Apply today online or text DC to 240-240. Walk-ins welcomed.
Monica, officials said that infant was just 15 days old when he was rushed to the hospital back in late June. The child had been at his parents' apartment on Burns Hill Road in Hudson. He was described as in medical distress. Officials wouldn't go into further detail than that. From the local hospital, he was then transferred down to a hospital in Massachusetts, where he ultimately died several days later. The Attorney General's office says an autopsy has been performed, but the results are expected to take months to be fully ready. Meanwhile, they say their investigation continues.
As with any homicide or potential homicide investigation, we are going to take that very seriously. All of these types of cases are difficult, especially when it involves a child.
The General's office says they can't go into specifics about the investigation, but say there is no threat to the public and say everyone involved has been identified. In the studio, Steve Botari, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Queen City Pride criticizes Manchester police for response to suspicious truck. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Walmart, America's largest, is hiring. Earn $23.55 to $28.10 per hour plus benefits. Working at Walmart's Raymond Distribution Center. 50 full-time positions available. Apply today online or text DC to 240-240. Walk-ins welcomed.
I was bewildered. I was disheartened. And I was angry, to be honest with you, that my police department and the men and women in this police department were painted in that light and were labeled as fearmongers.
The letter arrived Friday afternoon, signed by Queen City Pride Executive Director Kyle Davis. 7 bullet points criticize the department's response to the suspicious box truck. The chief says the event organizers raised concern during the security sweep of Arms Park, June 18th.
You bring the truck to our attention. We take action. And now you want to question the action that I took.
2 explosive dogs hit on the truck in the same area, prompting the chief, who was on site, to call state police explosives experts. He says the department was in constant communication with organizers. The parade was delayed by about a half hour.
We'll move on, and they'll have their event next year, and we'll give it the same support, if not more, whatever it takes to keep them safe. That's all I care about. I'm not going to take it personal.
Queen City Pride released a statement to News 9 that says, in part, we look forward to working with Chief Aldenberg and his leadership team in a collaborative way to address the concerns we've raised. We can learn from one another and we'll be a stronger city for all its residents and visitors because of it.
Vino reporting there, the truck was traced to a man on the west side. He told police he moves it around to different public parking places so that he would not get towed.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Shibboleth to resign as New Hampshire DHHS Commissioner at the end of the year. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Walmart, America's largest, is hiring. Earn $23.55 to $28.10 per hour plus benefits. Working at Walmart's Raymond Distribution Center. 50 full-time positions available. Apply today online or text DC to 240-240. Walk-ins welcomed.
It's hard to imagine there will ever be a New Hampshire Commissioner of Health and Human Services with a more outsized public profile or public impact than Lori Shibboleth. Granite Staters got to know her through televised briefings in the early stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. Her style, always frank and to the point. When executive counselors rejected federal vaccine funding last fall, she wasn't shy about describing the impact.
So what I do expect is longer wait times for anybody actually looking for the vaccine, whether it's kids 5 to 11 or people looking for a booster shot. We are going to see delay in getting vaccine appointments until we can get all those contracts executed.
She also didn't back down from powerful state lawmakers when she felt they were muddling the state's public health message.
That is incorrect. And that is the problem that we are having. Increasing our vaccination rate is spreading misinformation about the COVID vaccine.
Governor Chris Sununu says Commissioner Shibinet did a remarkable job maintaining public confidence and trust through one of the biggest challenges the state has ever seen. Executive counselors regretfully accepted her resignation, effective in December, lauding her commitment, her competence, and her bravery.
She will be very hard to replace, and we all owe her a debt of gratitude.
Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. In visit to New Hampshire, Maryland Governor sparks 2024 speculation. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The Whalestown, New England's favorite water park in beautiful Lincoln, New Hampshire. Join us.
Catch the wave, catch the wave, catch the wave, catch the wave. Whalestown Water Park Wave.
He may be from Maryland, but Governor Larry Hogan seems to know how to start a day off in New England, making a dunks run ahead of several meetings. The two-term Republican chief executive of Blue State, Maryland, knows his presence in New Hampshire will get people talking.
It didn't get past me that the oversized role that New Hampshire plays and how important it is, but I really was on my way to Maine for a National Governors Association conference, and I thought, why not spend a day or two in New Hampshire just talking with folks and seeing how they're feeling.
Viewed as a possible GOP presidential contender in 2024, Hogan is also unveiling a roadmap for dealing with inflation in Washington, calling for cuts to taxes, spending, and regulations, a reversal of energy policies that increase oil prices, and suspending the federal gas tax.
Even though unemployment is low and we got job growth, people are still feeling really squeezed, and I think the administration has failed to recognize that and has not understood how much people are suffering out there.
As far as 2024, Governor Hogan is already on record saying he hopes former President Donald Trump doesn't run again, pointing to the fact that Republicans lost the White House and the U.S. Senate in 2020. He believes there are other considerations to take into account as well.
Given what we've learned from the January 6th Commission and the testimony that we've heard from so many Republicans, administration members, close allies of then President Donald Trump, do you think another Donald Trump presidency would be a good thing for America?
I don't think it would be. I think, America is hopelessly divided right now. There's a lot of angry and divisive rhetoric out there, frankly, on both sides of the aisle, and the loudest, angriest voices seem to get all the attention. I think another Donald Trump presidency would continue to exacerbate that.
Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Two workers seriously injured in manhole explosion in Boston's Beacon Hill. Let's take a listen to that video from WCVB Boston.
This is supersonic Wi-Fi from Xfinity. It's fast. Like riding a cheetah fast. Isn't that right, girl? Oh! It can connect hundreds of devices at once. That's powerful. Couldn't have said it better myself. Unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity.
This is a very active scene. You're right now on Bowdoin Street. It's at the corner of Cambridge Street, right in the Beacon Hill area. The Red Hat used to be there on the left. It's right down the street from the State House. There are reports of manhole explosions. Again, this is right near a government center, the State House down the street. You can see it is a very active scene. You see Boston Fire and some other officials there on the scene trying to figure out exactly what is happening here. Very active scene, a very quick response right here. Again, reports of manhole explosions right near Government Center. That's Bowdoin and Cambridge Street right there.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Two people killed after boat capsizes in Hudson River. Let's take a listen to that video from CBS News.
To live is to journey. That's why Bridgestone is relentlessly seeking ways to
We want to turn now to some sad breaking news out of New York City. At least 2 people are dead, including a child, and 10 others injured after a boat capsized in the Hudson River. CBS's Elaine Cajano is near the scene.
New York City fire and police units raced to the scene to find the boat bobbing upside down in the Hudson River. 12 people were aboard when it capsized just before 3 p.m. this afternoon.
A few people were hanging on to it. Others were in the water. My crew started throwing life jackets, life rings.
9 were rescued by nearby ferries. 2 others, a woman in her 50s and a 7-year-old boy, were pulled from the water by police. Both died.
This is a tragic day for New Yorkers. Indeed, it may have well been worse.
2 are still in critical condition, including the boat captain. The cause of the accident is under investigation, but the 27-foot private boat was in calm waters when it went down near Midtown Manhattan. New York City Mayor Eric Adams called it a devastating moment for the city.
We clearly saved lives of those who were part of this terrible incident that took place.
The boat was chartered by a group of family and friends. Nora, one thing investigators will be looking at is how many people were legally allowed to be on board.
All right, Elaine Cajano for us tonight. Thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. That does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great evening. Good night and goodbye.